It's July 21st. This is Dave Schroeder. Um, you know, spiritually, I can go on and on and on about all of this child trafficking and all of the crap that has gone on. But looking back, that part has gotten me nowhere. From the moment I went and saw Nebraska State Patrolman cold case detective John Pankedin, my life has been nothing but assholes coming out of the woodwork to try and shut me up. And that happened at the very beginning. I mean, I didn't start off writing a book and doing a blog. I did what I thought I was supposed to do, and I went to the police to get them to take my DNA. But I had no idea that John Pankedin was the one who made it all go away in the first place in the 80s. He's the one who was instrumental in helping put Alicia Owen away for perjury, for telling people that she was carrying the chief of police at the time, Robert Wadman's baby, as a minor, but it has been nothing but a mess. But spiritually, let me point out, and the stuff I'm going to say is nothing I didn't write about in my book. You can't find it in Rabbit Hole, because Rabbit Hole's all about Franklin. But if you go on my blog, davidschroeder.com, look above, Confessions of an Antichrist, that's what I wrote. Read what I wrote and not what Doug Mesner edited when they broke into my blog. Because just like they broke into my YouTube, and then all the videos that I talk about, they all listed Doug Mesner in that protection order, all of those are gone. So I lost control of that account for 5 years, and suddenly everything was gone about Doug Mesner. The very shit he wanted that was listed on that protection order in Kent that they took out on me, even though none of those videos had anything to do with the petitioners, but only and solely dealt with Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple. He's Legion. But spiritually, this is what I know. I was trained by one of the most brilliant Luciferians ever, because Michael Aquino was brilliant, but he was also Luciferian. They believed in the Antichrist, they believed in a war with heaven, and they believed that Azazel, who is the actual name for Satan, was the champion of mankind who broke us away from God and all of that. And you don't have to believe this, and a lot of people that are watching these videos don't have a clue what I'm fucking talking about and are too lazy to research it themselves. But that is what Luciferians believe. Satanists are like Doug Mesner. He's a Satanist, but then he tells everybody he's not a Satanist. So he's everything to everyone all at once. He's Legion, but he's a very bad guy connected to a lot of bad people. But I've been trying to get this investigated over and over and over. And who do I go to? The police? It has been just nonstop because I'm fighting the government along with this. They're the ones who made all of this go away. The shit that happened with Jeffrey Epstein, the first time when he got that sweetheart deal, who was involved with all of that? The government. It's not like the government doesn't exist and they don't do shit, and it's not like they don't have an unlimited amount of resources. Obviously, because Doug Mesner offered me anything that I wanted. When I told him to keep his cash, he told me, well, he had other things for me to stop what I'm doing. And, no, get behind thee, Satan. But, what I know spiritually is that the fallen, who were in control and are the architects of all that we have right now, have been neutralized. This war with heaven is over. Now, I know that a lot of people are going to think, oh, that can't possibly be, because it's supposed to play out like a Hollywood movie. But I was trained by one of the most brilliant Luciferians, and a lot of it was all mind shit, mind over matter, using mind, astrally projecting, which they called remote viewing. It's what I do now as a shaman. Is instead of going outward, I just go in, because I believe the kingdom of heaven is inside of us. And so I just use what I was trained to do as a kid. One of the reasons why I figured that Aquino was afraid of me is because he knew what I was like when I was a kid. I say that they drowned me over and over and over and over. That's the whole reason why they drowned Max Spears. Max Spears was another outspoken victim of Michael Aquino. And they drowned him in a bathtub, which is the reason why when his mother had an autopsy done, his phone was soaking wet. Was because they drowned him in a tub. Because that's what they used to do to us as kids. They drowned us over and over and over because they believed that people who died and came back had a stronger connection. So they just took that to the extreme. And so they drowned us over and over and over. Well, as a kid, I got tired of struggling. So what I did as a kid is they would stick my head underwater. I just get it over with. The best way you can do it is just take a deep breath, And Aquino knew what I was like. And he knew what he trained me to do. And in the end, I'm pretty sure that he knew what I used it to do. And this is over. The war with heaven is over. And now things are playing out. And, this happened, 15 years ago? It's been playing out all my life. But all the shit that I talk about with the fallen and what happened after my dad died and all of that, I wrote about that in Confessions of an Antichrist, and I had that edited, and that took time, and it got Rabbit Hole got published in 2012. So this happened a while ago. So I'm sure Mesner and his group will say, oh, well, again, it doesn't happen instantaneously. But when you consider the fact that one day here is 1,000 years on the other side, what's happening is that all this shit is burning away. It's all going to burn away. The sun ain't going to stop. The sun ain't going to stop. The heat ain't going to go away. It's just going to get worse. The sun is getting worse. We're going to have more and more extremes. But I could be wrong about this whole Hollywood movie playing out. Because notice with all these disasters, all the shit that's happened in Vermont, and all of the deaths that have happened with all these tornadoes and all of that, unless the media is lying to us, which it very well could, notice how only a handful of people die each time. Usually less than 10. Everyone else survives. Everyone else survives. I have a feeling that in the end, we're all going to be around, and we won't have a doubt who's behind this, because heaven is behind this. God is behind this. The bad guys are about ready to be claimed. I used what they trained me to do to fuck them. And it has been a rough road. And it's been a lonely road, My ex was right. I get people who just want to fuck me up any way they possibly can. And they rationalize it. And what I find is that, especially with the pious ones who believe they're going to be raptured any day, they feel righteous about it. They feel righteous about their evil shit. And it's not just me, because there are people around me who have a history of doing this to people. I'm but one. It goes right along with, I had a friend of mine who was all upset because someone cut me off, and I told him, just sit back and watch that person. And we watched, and they went up the road and cut someone else off, and then they went up the road and cut someone else off, and went up the road and cut someone else off. And I told him, that's just it. if they do it to one, they'll do it to all. And those who justify and rationalize the evil shit they do are going to be claimed by the darkness. That's how it works. You reap what you sow, the judgments you give. And there is that whole adage of what you do to the least of you, you do unto me. And you never know the person you're fucking with if they're actually the least or not, you know? Because some people are very unassuming in their abilities. Anyway, so spiritually, what I know is that the war of heaven is over. And all of these idiots all over the world, our leaders, all of that, all of those people who were congregating in that temple at Jeffrey Epstein's, and that's just one. There's like those kind of shit all over the world, you know, like that ranch that Scalia ended up dead at. They had all this satanic shit all over the walls, you know, but they're all being dealt with, and their secrets are not hidden. And all of the people who are around me, who are getting their money and getting favors and all of the shit that they're coming to you for you to fuck with me. Not talking about those of you idiots who will just fuck people over for free, sell your soul in the process. You better spend your money quick, because the sun is getting worse. This heat's not going to go away. And the sun is just amping up. And when it does end up at its solar maximum, it's going to slowly level itself off. And look at around the world. This is over. This is over. There's two paths. Into the darkness or into the new garden. And the only way to get into the new garden is to have a heart that's full of love. You know? If you're fucking doing evil shit to anybody in your life, saying shit, doing shit, plotting shit, doing nasty anything that you can to hurt them or make them become lower than you are, your heart is in the wrong place. And you're going to end up in the fucking darkness. That's what's going to happen to you. You ain't going to be raptured. Anyway, so spiritually, I mean, they have me pretty well isolated. I mean, and I keep doing these videos because there's nothing I can do except these videos, you know? I live my life, doing my house, you know, having to deal with just life's bullshit. And I'm still trying to get shit investigated because every time I turn around, I fall into shit like with Doug Mesner and his whole Nazi bullshit affiliations, being connected to things he should not be connected with, but would be easily connectable to him. He's not as smart as he gives himself credit for. And now with the shit in town, even though I will say that one of the sheriff stopped me because I didn't stop completely at a stoplight on my road the other night. Very nice. Very nice. You know? And let me off with the warning because I haven't had a moving violation. I drive like a grandma. But I was in a rush to go get some aspirin. And so I will, you know, they're not all bad. Not everyone is bad. But that doesn't say a whole lot for others, you know? This whole shit needs to be investigated. Because gas stations do not blow up by magic. And that gas station that blew up, that could have effectively taken out both my sister and I, because we both lived in houses that were basically right across the street. They don't blow up by magic. It was a bomb. That's how. And the fact that the sheriff, Neil Gross, wants to pretend that that gas station blew up by magic because there's absolutely no explanation for why it blew up, even though he knew everything that was going on with me, doesn't bode well. But then again, When I went to go ask for the DNA to be taken by John Pankinen, not only did I not get did nothing get investigated, but he sent his sister, the cold case detective, sent his sister True to ingratiate herself into both mine and my sister's life, you know? And this is the dude who made all the child trafficking thing go away, because he's directly connected with Alicia Owen. I didn't know that at the time. Didn't realize that until I watched an interview with her just in the last year or so. Not even. So, that's the shit that goes on. You know, I've tried to get this investigated, but what difference does it make? The heat is coming. The sun just keeps inundating us with radiation and heat. That's what's happening. Because this is all over. God is here. And so, act accordingly, you know? But I know that there will be people who will not be able to see, even if the world is burning right in front of them, which it is, they won't see it. And unfortunately for them, they'll be lost, you know? But again, if you feel righteous and you're doing evil shit to people, no matter how much you justify it, you ain't gonna like where you end up. That's how it works. We reap what we sow.